Everyone tells you to become a better listener. Practice active listening. Make people feel heard. Validate their emotions. And on paper, that sounds smart. But there's a problem nobody talks about. And some people are using your listening against you. Because if all you do is absorb, validate, nod, and accommodate, eventually people stop seeing you as powerful and start seeing you as available. That's the hidden danger of modern communication advice. Because listening alone does not create respect. In many conversation, it creates imbalance. And once that imbalance happens, you slowly become the emotional support system for people who would never give you the same energy back. Now, don't misunderstand me. Listening is important. But the way most people practice active listening today is very weak. Why? Because it's become performative submission. People are taught to constantly nod, over-validate, maintain non-stop eye contact, mirror emotions, never interrupt, never challenge, never redirect. In other words, they're trained to become conversational caretakers. And the moment you become the caretaker in every interaction, the power dynamic shifts. You stop looking like an equal, you start looking like support staff. And here's the uncomfortable truth. People often respect those who control emotional gravity, more than those who endlessly absorb it. Watch what happens in most conversations. One person talks, the other person listens intently, asks follow-up questions, validates every feeling, gives complete conversational space. Sounds healthy, right? Except over time, one person becomes psychologically larger in the interaction, and the other becomes smaller, because communication is not just about empathy, it's about perceived status. The person constantly adapting themselves to maintain the control or the comfort of others often becomes invisible, especially in business or leadership, even in relationships. People don't consciously say, this person is weak, but they feel it. Because excessive accommodation communicates something dangerous. Communicates, my role here is to maintain your emotional comfort. And once people feel that, they instinctively push more weight onto you, more demands, more emotional dumping, more interruptions, more expectations, but less respect. And here's what most people miss. The strongest communicators are not the best listeners. They're the best regulators of conversational energy. And that's different. And here's the shift. Stop listening to absorb. Start listening to evaluate. The single change transforms your presence instantly. Weak listeners say something like, I need to prove I understand you. Powerful listeners say, I'm deciding what deserves my attention. That difference is massive because respected people do not give automatic emotional access. They listen with boundaries. They pause longer. They challenge assumptions. They redirect conversations when necessary. And most importantly, they do not reward endless emotional spiraling with unlimited attention. Powerful listening is quieter. It's more selective, less reactive. For example, instead of saying, I completely understand why you feel that way, try this. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the actual issue here. That's grounded, stable, directed. Or instead of endlessly nodding while someone dominates the conversation, you interrupt calmly and say, let's focus on what matters. That changes the frame immediately, because respected communicators don't just receive conversations, they shape them. And shaping the conversation is what creates authority, not endless accommodation. The moment you stop over-validating people, something strange happens. People actually pay closer attention to you. Why is that? Because selective attention has value. When your approval becomes automatic, it becomes meaningless. But when people feel you are thoughtful about what you place your attention on, your words gain weight. Your silence gains weight. Even your pauses gain weight. This is why calm authority often feels intimidating, not because it's aggressive, but because it's not emotionally over-available. The goal was never to become cold. The goal was never to stop caring. The goal was to stop confusing endless emotional accommodation with strength. Because real communication power is not found in how much emotional weight you can carry for everyone else. It's found in your ability to stay centered while deciding what deserves your attention. And the people who command the most respect in the room are rarely the people trying hardest to prove they're listening.